Good morning, guys. Happy later Friday morning. It's now about 11:30 my time, and I've got my 40 in for the week, so I'm done so I can work on some of my preps and get back to what I was working on last night. Kind of doing some stuff inside. I'm working on my prep room, if you will. Could do some organization because Mrs. P and I have been canning like crazy here. We canned, 10 quarts of borscht the other night. Got to put that up, some green beans, some salsa, so I got to reorganize, put stuff there. But as I was doing it, I was moving some stuff around and, kind of thinking a little bit. It's like, okay, a lot of stuff in here. What do I do in, oh my God, I got a boogie. Okay, I got to bug out. Now, y'all know me. I've said many times, the only way I'm bugging out is if either the forest goes up in fire or the Chinese come over the hill. Okay, Chinese come over the hill, maybe I fight back. Forest is up on fire. Not going to be able to fight a forest fire. So, there are situations where we all got to leave. Okay. Now, for those of you in the city, it's probably a lot more likely that you're going to bug out than I am because you're probably heading somewhere like here where there is pretty much no chance I'm heading somewhere like where you are. Okay. So, it got me thinking about, okay, let's say I got 15 minutes. The hell do I do to get out of the house? And I've, game planned this in my head, many times, whatever. But so I kind of wanted to run through with you guys just some quick ideas, hence the reason, tips, tricks, and hints. So you got 15 minutes to get out of the house. Obviously, you're going to take your car if you got one. Okay, if not, you're walking, and first few points on here aren't going to do you any good. So throw your bug out bag. Obviously, we better have one of those, which has got your basics in it that you can have. Hopefully it's not 90 pounds because then it's not a bug out bag, it's a suitcase. But so you're throwing everything in the car, throwing it in the truck, whatever. So my bug out bag goes in the back of the truck. Mrs. P goes in there. The dogs go in the back seat. And we're ready to go. What else do I need to take? Okay. Now, there's only so much clothing you can keep in your bug out bag. You at least have one change, okay, just in case you get wet. Throw your laundry basket in the bug out or in the back of the vehicle. Why? It's pre-packed, guys, okay? Clothes aren't clean, but I can guarantee you there's shirts, shorts, pants, underwear, socks, whatever it is right now in your laundry basket that if you had a boogie out of the house in 15 minutes, you grab that, throw it in the car, and you got changes of clothes. You may stink, okay, but you got changes of clothes, something that's probably dry. All right. So you get on the road and driving along, you're trying to get to your bug out location, wherever it is. Maybe it's 50 miles away. Wonderful. Okay. And, the half a tank, 3/4 tank of gas you got in the vehicle, good, you're there. But let's say it's a bigger scenario and you got to go further and further and further. Now, depending on the vehicle you're in, my truck will get 600 miles on a tank. Okay. It's a 33-gallon tank in the truck. So yeah, don't tell me I know it's less than 20 miles a gallon. But if you've got one of these little rice burner cars that's got a 10-gallon tank or a 12-gallon tank or whatever it would be, maybe you're not getting as far. Maybe you get 300 miles out of a tank of gas, okay? And remember, you don't know, you're not going to be doing highway speeds the whole way because you're going to be taking back roads. You're going to be trying to avoid where other people are because you're trying to get out, okay? So it's not going to be the most efficient way to run your vehicle. So here's a suggestion. Get yourself about a 10-foot, 12-foot piece of garden hose. Okay, we've all probably had a garden hose that's broken, got a hole in it or whatever it is. Cut the ends off of it, keep that in there. Why? It's great to use as a siphon. You run across a broke down car on the side of the road. Hey, get over there, throw one end of the hose in the broke down car. You can suck it out. I've done that. It sucks, but it works. Okay. You can find, one of those little squeezy balls that you can put in the end of it to create the siphon even better. But that's a way that you may be able to get fuel. But of course, now if you've come across a broke down car, there's a plethora of good stuff that you can take right there. Grab the mirrors. Great for signal device. Great for starting a fire if you need be. Okay. Pop the hood, rip out any of the wiring you can. All right. Again, wiring you can use for wiring. If something goes in your car, you got extra wire. These are things you're not carrying in your bug out bag. But there are resources there. Take the battery, okay? You don't know if the battery is good or bad, but, take it. You got a spare all of a sudden, okay? I guarantee you're not carrying around a car battery in your bug out bag. If you're carrying a spare one in your car, you're one of the very few people in the world that would do that, okay? Even something like the seat foam, okay? You can take that. That may be useful for something, almost a comfort item, a pillow, because you're going to be sleeping on the ground. If you can get enough of it, maybe it's something that you can put on the ground you can actually sleep on, so you don't wake up feeling like hell. So, grab that. So as you're going down the road, like I said, you have all sorts of objects and you're in back roads and whatever it is, let's say you hit something, you get a flat tire. Now, hopefully you got a spare tire in your car, you're good. But, which has happened to me one time in my life, I hit something on the road and I got 2 flat tires at the same time. I don't know anybody that carries 2 spares, okay? Here's a little trick. Take the tire off, stuff the tire with grass, okay? Don't just start ripping up as much grass and everything that you can, not sticks. Sticks won't work. You need something soft, grass. But pack that thing as best you can. It'll at least get you out of trouble far enough away somewhere. You drive on a flat tire, you might get 5 miles before you shred that whole tire to pieces. You put grass in there, you probably get 20, 30 miles out of it, okay? So, it'll get you somewhere. So just something there to know. So let's say you're on the coast or whatever it is, and you're trying to get out of a hurricane area or something like that, and anywhere. I know there's plenty of times when I was in Vegas, rainstorm had hit and people would be driving and they get in puddles and poof, the water's rising and people would literally drown in the streets of Las Vegas because they were in a car and they tried to drive through a big puddle and, it was deeper than they thought and they couldn't get out of their car, all right? If you got one of those little things that you can pop a window, great. Most people don't have one of those. But just so you know, the headrests in any car are removable. Take those out. The 2 little metal sticks in there are designed so you can bust the window. If you're ever in a car, we've seen all this in the movies, and it's always funny. They're panicking. How do I get out? And it's like, oh, the guy fires a gun. I always laugh at that because, sorry, gun doesn't work underwater. Take the headrest off, pop the window. That'll get the window out. You can get out. So, but also good if you're ever locked in a car, kidnapped or something like that, there's a way to get out of the car. Okay, you can do that. So, all right. So if you've gone through this, you got the flat tires, the car's been washed out, whatever it is, you're on foot. No more car. So here's some ideas. You're walking. Hopefully you've got a compass with you and you know where to go. There are ways to make a compass out in the field, with a pin and a magnet and water and a leaf and everything like that. But I'm betting chances are you're not carrying all that. Hopefully you got a tiny little compass and it'll go. All right. So you come to a river, a creek, whatever it is, and you got to get across it. I'm betting you didn't pack a raft, okay? But I can pretty much bet everybody's got a tarp of some sort, a poncho or something like that in your bug out bag. Better, okay? You need to navigate across some sort of river or whatever it is. Take your tarp, fill it with a bunch of sticks, fold it over, put the middle side on the bottom where all the ends up on the top, sit on that, you can float across the river. Not good for long distances, okay? But you can easily go a couple of miles with it, okay? If you want to consider that a long distance, you're not going to float down the Mississippi all the way on this. But you can traverse a river or stream or something like that that you need to get, that's big enough that you need to get across on a raft. You can make a raft out of that, get to the other side, pick up your tarp, dump all the sticks, off and running you go. Okay, so that's something that definitely is a good idea to know about. So you're still walking, but of course you just crossed the river. You're a little wet. You got all these sticks maybe. Now it's time to start a fire. Okay. Hopefully you've got ferro rod, you've got a lighter, whatever. But chances are you just came across the river and a bunch of it's wet. Okay. Especially if you got a box of matches or whatever, chances are those are wet. Guys, keep your wooden matches in a pill bottle, old pill bottle of some sort, even like an old aspirin bottle that's got a snap on if you don't have any prescriptions or anything. Something like that where you can keep it dry. Put a piece of fine grade sandpaper inside your pill bottle. Okay, just roll it up, throw it in there, give you something to strike a match on, because chances are, whatever you had, the box of matches, the book of matches, that striker plate has got wet, ripped, whatever would be. Throw some sandpaper in there. That'll work for starting your fires. Okay. Then another one, this one probably most of us have already got, but maybe if you're some newbies, you don't know about this one. Either take cotton balls or the dryer lint from when you clean out your lint trap when you're drying your clothes. Save your dryer lint. Take a little bit of Vaseline, mix it all in there together, get Vaseline on that dryer lint, stuff all that in another pill bottle. It's the greatest fire starter. You put that on there, that stuff will burn for like about 5, 6, 7 minutes and get your twigs going, everything like that. So, pill bottles, something very important. So now you got your little fire going. You need a big fire. This is where I'd say always wear a belt. You're going to hopefully have a sidearm with you and you need something to hold it up. But belt is very useful. You created your fire here. You can go out there, find some firewood, strap it all with your belt. Makes it a hell of a lot easier to carry than running around like this where you don't have hands to balance yourself because you're not walking in a parking lot. So, if you can just put it in a belt, strap it over your back, one hand, and you can walk around and keep your balance with the other hand. Belt's great for many, many, many things. You can use it as a tourniquet, anything that you need to tie up. Remember, a good leather belt is going to be very strong, pull stuff with. Last one on this one, you need some shelter. Okay, you got that tarp. Paracord, cordage, we all know it, but cordage takes up space in your bug out bag. So what can you do for to alleviate some of the space, all right? Lace your boots with paracord, okay? Make a paracord bracelet. We've all seen these. You can make them, you can buy them, whatever would be. A real good idea that I've seen is a dog collar made of paracord, okay? Either you put it on you if you want, or put it on your dog. But, now you can get a couple of 100 feet of paracord, because paracord and a tarp make a great tent. Tie the paracord around a tree at about 3 feet. Put a stick in the ground 4 or 5 feet away. Tie it on an angle. Lay your tarp over the top. Poof, you have a triangular tent. So stuff like that. But this is much more geared. This video is much more geared toward bugging out. But there's a lot of people that might need to do that. So I just wanted to give you some ideas. Hopefully they stay fresh in your head for how to, use some tips and tricks. There's next to nothing in there that costs you anything, that you don't already have. So, ideas, maybe something that you can grab. Like I said, grab a garden hose at, you see one at garage sale or something like that, and the guy wants 50 cents for it. Good. Take 12 feet off, throw it in your car, whatever it would be. Just ideas for you to have, because you never know when something like this is going to happen, because it could. So information is always a good thing, guys. Have a good Friday if I don't see you anymore today, but who knows. Pinball out.